There are axial points in spiritual practice. The axial points are whenever some old pattern begins to be disrupted and a new pattern has not yet been formed, there is a point of movement. In a way, it's a point of freedom. On the other hand, we become dislodged from our old familiar patterns. We become dislodged from what we knew worked. We become dislodged from that comforting feeling of going down the same path over and over again. And when we become dislodged from what's familiar and comfortable, we become disoriented. We can become ungrounded. We can not be sure what to do or how to make decisions. We cannot be sure what's the most skillful way to approach things, because we've always approached it in our old habitual pattern. So when we're practicing and we actually come to one of these points where the old pattern begins to break apart, and what that means is when we are actually separating our consciousness, separating our identification from a whole set of thoughts. So normally we think our thoughts and our emotions and our reactions, that's me. That's who I am. I don't like something, well, it's me. But as we begin practicing and we begin bringing awareness into practice, we begin to see, oh, I can be aware of thought. I can be aware of emotion. I can be aware of reactivity. And as soon as we start having some space in there, we begin having some freedom. Well, freedom is always a little unnerving, especially newfound freedom. What do I do? Where to go? How do I respond? So that's the first thing. It's a totally normal and important aspect of spiritual practice to become dislodged from our old fixed views. And yet we're not skillful yet. We haven't moved into new territory. Our skills are rudimentary. And so we keep kind of floundering. How do I work with this? How do I embody that? How do I bring this new thing I'm learning into my life? And that, of course, takes continual practice. Now, if we continually practice, we continually investigate ourselves, we're continuing to find some space in our own being, then this process of moving to a new level will continue to happen. If we stop doing that, then we always go back to what's familiar. We always retrench and kind of reaffirm and go back to our old habits. So oftentimes people will have a rebound phenomenon. They go to a retreat, they find some spaciousness. After the retreat, they don't know quite what to do. All their old habits are right there. They're very familiar. Glom onto them, and even glom onto them harder than they were before. And so after a retreat where you touched a little bit of freedom, it's easy to actually feel like you're going back because the mind has gotten harder in some way. So what is most important is that we keep on practicing. We keep on looking. We keep on finding more space. And as we find more space, and then we try to become more and more skillful with whatever we can do. Because we all start off with every skill as inadequate. That's the way every new person is. They're inadequate. And it's only through our bumbling through our inadequacies how we become adequate. That's how we learn. So any new thing that we begin to get a sense of the possibility by practicing, by continuing to exercise ourselves in that direction, it becomes part of us again. Becomes a skillful component of our personality that we can then use to help others. And then, as we keep going, that too will come apart. And we'll find some other view that's even larger. So it's the endless process. Things come apart, we're not sure what to do, things come back together again. Hopefully they come back together with a wider view. That wider view will also have its limitations. That wider view at some point will come apart and still a wider view is possible. So the boundless nature of mind is unlimited. And anything that we think that, oh yeah, I finally got this together, I finally see that, is extremely limited. So may you rest in the boundless nature of your own mind in the endless path of practice.
Please visit our website at zendesk.org for more information about our workshops, retreats, and opportunities to practice.